has money. You know, because like I drive around my Mazda and I'm like, I think I have money, but I don't.
It's again living in that. What would you call it? Delusional state.
A quarter life crisis, but
fucking, I don't know. It could be our midlife. It's not like we fucking know.
Vlad Daddy will nuke us.
But yeah. Exactly though, like why I'm just trying not to fucking. I'm not trying to be serious about life.
Right, like nah, we can get blown a bit.
Like anything can happen at any moment. That's
out of my control.
I'm trying to like enjoy life and respect people and like love people that I care about.
Mm-hmm.
Only keep people around that care about me. Like if it isn't about like mutual appreciation for each other's life and watching out for each other, like there's not a point for me to keep it around at this point. Like point.
Reciprocation.
Is this all Keith, bro? Whole lot of Keith, bro. Shit. So the book you're reading, though, when did you start it? Like a week ago, a month ago, 3 weeks ago? So what are you reading, like a page and a half a day or something? Trying to keep consistency with it? Or?
Like just kind of working on it. I think I might get a membership at that Anytime Fitness over there. It's $40 a month, but like, $10 a week at that point. Like,
that's true.
Okay, like I can run there and run back and get my cardio in for the day.
Where is it?
It's right up the road. Do you know where
Domino's? Yeah, okay. That's one. I thought that was one.
It's like a gym with gym equipment, so like, it's not like
you're paying.
Why?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, it's a gym, like with better equipment. Like,
exactly.
I got like a treadmill down here, but like, and a total gym that I want to try and set up, and like some weights. But
I told you I have that box of weights at my dad's. If you want it, they're those circular ones that you put on bars and shit, and there's bars, so there's free weights. So you could do bench press and curls and
because like there's
shoulder presses and
because then we can just get a bench.
Yeah. Just for the meantime, just use the fucking massage chair.
Yeah.
You're like, I like it because it holds my fucking ankles in. Might have just the right lumbar support too. It's super lumpy. It's not good at all. Fucking. Yeah, I want to get back to reading. It's been probably like 2 weeks since I read a book, but it's consistency.
Yeah, if you set aside like 15 minutes to read, like, and that's it. Like, you have 24 hours in a day, you got 15 minutes. Like, do it while you're playing like Pokemon Go. Like, catch all the Pokemon, read, wait till like, you're on watch duty for Pokemon and you're fucking reading. That's 15 minutes.
That's a good point. I mean, it's hard for me to try to build multiple habits at once. I noticed, so I'm trying to just start with a couple. Yeah, and it's like I had that one going and I dropped it to try to build something else. I actually started. I'm on 4 days now of today will be the 5th day if I do it, but of doing breath work. And, it's like you listen to somebody that tells you like meditative type shit and just breathe with it. I wasn't open to it at first, and I swear.
I sent you too, right?
Yeah, and I swear, bro, I went into like a trance-like state almost, like, and I was completely sober. Like no weed, no beer, no nothing, like no nicotine, no caffeine even, like just straight water and fucking a protein shake like 8 hours before that.
That makes sense.
And fucking I was just sitting there in front of the mirror and I just started doing the breathwork thing without the video. And I was like, at some point I realized that I was just sitting there like staring at myself in the mirror, and it had been like over 15 minutes. Because when I went and checked my phone, it was probably like 2 minutes later. I was like, all right, I've been doing this for a minute. Like, can't concentrate on it anymore. I'm gonna check my phone. It had been like 18 minutes. But I don't know. I swear I felt like I was on drugs or something. And like, you know, I've never done like mushrooms or acid or I just smoked weed. Like I haven't even.
I'm trying to look for mushrooms because like that's like the psychedelic that I will like only psychedelic I'll do because like
Natural.
yeah, because yeah. Fuck man, I told you about fucking Hang Up Post, right? Like how I fucking peaked. Yeah, okay. Like
Again, I've never done it. It sounds like something that I'd be open to trying once I'm in the right mind state. You know,
mindset and setting are the two biggest rules.
Yeah.
Like
I feel like I wouldn't be able to handle it right now.
Right. I only use it for like I only use it for like medicinal purposes now. Like if I'm like trying to get into my subconscious, like you know, I'm microdosing and I'm like
Wow.
like on a different plane. Like I swear, I'm just like when you stare into the abyss stares back at you. Like outer space. Like you're just vibing. Like you are. Like that's how it felt at fucking Hangout. Cause like, you know, I was literally like this in the sand. Like I had more than anyone there. Like I had like 5 stems and like 3 heads, and like I'm just like like
Doink.
Yeah.
I mean, at least it wasn't to the point where you can't remember.
No, like that was the low. Like I'm literally like
you were stuck there, fucking like
the sand
on
was,
the ground.
The sand was black. Everything was black. Like you know, like but like there's like a white like you know outline ish of everything. You know what I mean? Like it's like I don't know how to explain it. Like it's like I don't know, like an outline, like a white outline of people. Like it's just like, oh, okay, like that's like, you know, very bottom. I felt like I was in like the bottom of the ocean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I felt like I was in the bottom of the ocean, but like I was on the beach and like you know, there's an ocean right here anyway. So it's like.
But for you were perceiving that you were at the bottom of the ocean at that moment.
Right. Like, oh, okay. Like, you know, it's kind of like, you know, oh, like, even though, like, there's, like, all these people here, like, I'm just, like, you know, nothing's bothering me. Like, I'm just, like, you know, I was just, you know, chilling, vibing, like, because the volume level when you're sitting, so, like, you know, you have all these people standing up here, like, you know, talking here this way, right? But, like, if you go down to their legs, it's fucking
so there's like hundreds of people muffled. Around you, but they're all muffled. Standing so close and muffled.
So that way the sound is up there and it's fucking cool. Yeah, and you're just like I'm just like yeah, I can hear my own heartbeat at this point. I'm just like holy fuck. And like, you know, I like meanwhile, Trevor and Lexi and Paige and Justin are like telling people like, no, like he's okay, like he's just chilling, like because they're trying to get around me, like because I'm like one of the few people sitting down, like in my area. I'm just like vibing though, but like that was like the low, like I like self, you know, aware and just it's a good medicinal thing to have, you know.
What was the high?
Millennium. Like 20 minutes later. Okay, so like how I got from that low. So I got so like yeah, so like you know, it's like white outline of everything. You're like just I like you know everything was black, but like I didn't you know. Not black in that sense, like black, like as in like you know low lighting.
Sure,
you know,
sure.
Even though like it's like the sun is out in Alabama, like the heat, like, you know, it just felt like, you know, it was like nighttime, not cool, but like, you know, oh, okay, like, you know, I don't know if my eyes were closed, but like,
maybe you were like squinting really hard or something.
right,
It's all
right,
like
yeah, because like, oh,
dark,
okay,
hard
like,
to see,
yeah,
shadowy. So
yeah, like, you know, I think I'm like falling asleep at this point, you know, but like, you know, my back hurts like from like standing up all day, and it's like, yeah.
Were you sitting like crisscross, sitting up, or were you like laying backwards?
I was sitting like this.
So yeah, it wasn't like you were laying
like,
on your back or
like,
anything.
Yeah, like I was like this. Like I was just like hanging out, like just vibing there.
Elbows on your knees.
Yeah, like, yeah, but like I was like that for like maybe like 25 minutes. 25 solid minutes.
Dang.
But like that was fine. Like how it, like, you know, the muffled noise stopped right as soon as like, so here, like turn around.
Yeah.
Like come sit here, turn around. Wait, sit down.
Oh, sit.
Yeah, you can sit. Like a crisscross, and then next thing you know, like, oh, like Trevor fucking like is trying to talk to me, and he's like, "Hey man, like, are you good?" Like, I'm like, "I'm vibing." Yeah, no, literally.
So he came up behind
like,
you and just touched your shoulder
like,
all soft.
yeah,
He's like trying to be like,
yeah,
chill
like
and...
he's tripping with me. So
okay,
like,
yeah.
So it's
like,
him. Justin took a head.
Good.
Justin took a head. Like Lexi took a head. Paige took a stem. Like me and like Trevor had the second most.
You're like, I'm not gonna leave this. I'm gonna eat all of it.
Right? No, like, and so like, you know, he touched my shoulder and was just like, hey, like, you know, just like
everything was back to reality.
Yeah.
Back yeah.
Yeah. Like it was just.
This is all real.
Yeah. Like, faster than the Thanos snap. Like.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, and then I fucking stood up. Volume fucking went up by 50%, and like, yeah. And so, like, Millennium played 5 minutes later, and I think I got the video for it.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That's not a video.
Right. Fuck. Damn.
That's cool. So that was like 20 minutes after you came back or something?
Yeah, like.
So you were out for
like
25 minutes?
Yeah, so like the high, like, yeah, like I was out for those, like, not out, but like I was like checked out.
Yeah.
And like I, you know, came back up and like, oh, okay, I started to feel better. Like I started to get blood moving, whatever. Like I had some more water. And then like, you know, as I'm like standing up, like I'm just like, oh, okay, like I'm taking in where I am. Like, wow, like I'm on a festival on a beach, like, you know, just vibing. Like, you know, I could have had weed, but I got caught with the weed, and I knew that I had to have that trip for a reason. and the stars had aligned. I had my weed taken. So, like, I don't know. Like, I realized that afterwards. So, like, I was like, wow, like, I don't have my weed. Like, I'm just, oh, okay. Like, this is the only thing that I got. Like, I didn't have any alcohol with it. So it's like, oh, okay. Like, I'm just like, I'm expecting to, like, you know, tap into the subconscious and just like, oh, okay. Like, this is what I can do differently. Like, have you tried it this way?
Damn. So you're saying that, like, you feel that it all happened for a fucking reason?
Yes, because like I dropped.
Was set up for it to happen.
Listen, I dropped the joint from my waistband. The dude saw me drop it. Otherwise, like I had already like walked past. Like,
you're good.
Clearly, like he saw me. Like, oh, okay, and then he patted me down. Trevor took the mushrooms from me. I was going to take the mushrooms. He asked me if I had anything harder on me, and I was like, no. Like, you know, Trevor's like, earlier, like 15 minutes prior, you know.
Before you went in?
Cue 15 minutes ago. Like, he's like, no, give them to me.
Before
like,
you guys got in.
Before we even left the hotel.
Yeah.
So, he's like, you know, you're taking too much with you. Like, you know, we got to split the payload. I'm like, all right, that sounds reasonable. So, I had 4 fucking tubes. I had my cart. I had the Rick and Morty cart. I had the fucking 3 fucking, you know, tubes. And, like, I was going to have the mushrooms right here, but Trevor has the mushrooms in his waistband. Trevor gets ahead, or no, I get ahead of everyone. And then I drop the fucking thing. The cop fucking saw me. And then he, you know, was like, hey, is this yours? Like, I'm like, no. He's like, you want to just come over here? I'm like, fuck. So, yeah. He found the other 2.
Yeah.
But Trevor fucking went around the corner, fucking met up with Lexi, Justin, and Paige is like, we got to figure out how to get Austin out of jail.
Whoa.
Because, like, yeah, they fucking snap real quick.
So they didn't arrest you, though, right?
No, he was like, you know, do you have anything harder on you? I'm like, no. Like, no, I don't. Like, I was going to, but I didn't. And he's like, you know, better luck next time. Like, whatever, like, he fucking said. And, like,
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And I'm just like, you can go on. And I'm like, fuck yeah. Oh, yeah. I fucking walk around the corner. I'm like, and Lexi's like, you son of a bitch. Oh, God. Yeah, because they were all trying to figure out how they were going to get the bail money to get me out of jail. Because, like, having weed on me is a fucking crime down there. So.
Yeah, that's so dumb, man.
Mm-hmm. Hang Out Fest 2, Austin 1.
Twice now?
Yeah.
First one they got it in your wallet?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about that one again.
They fucking searched my fucking wallet. Like, I had this fake tube that held alcohol in it, and it was like sunscreen. They didn't allow anything over fucking 4 ounces, or no, 3 ounces, and this was 4 ounces. And so I'm like, well, it's unopened. Can I still bring it in? Like, you know, it's just sunscreen. And, like, I put up a fuss about it, and then the cops saw me, and I was like, fuck. So, like, he searched through my shit, and he fucking went in my wallet first, and fucking saw the pen in there, and he's like, is this cannabis? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, is there anything else in there you want to tell me before I go and search anymore? I'm like, no. He's like, oh, okay. And so I gave him one of the flask bottles. I got, you know, I got 2 joints in my waistband and 1 other flask bottle. So, like, I got those through, but he's like, looking at me, looking at the fucking shit, and it's just like, go on. Like, it's the 3rd day, so, out of 3, so I'm like, and Lexi's like, what happened? I'm like, let's get in the crowd. I don't want to explain it here. But, yeah.
Damn. Looked up.
Yep.
I said that's awesome to World 0.
Mm-hmm.
You're not arrested.
But, like, literally, like, that experience, like, was, like, life-changing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just like, fuck, man. Low, high, like, it fucking happened. Like, the way it had to, like, for that gamble to happen.
That's how I felt exactly about the trip to California.
Gamble.
You know, like I fucking literally my job the night that I went over to your house, your mom explained all that.
Mm-hmm.
My job, they were like, all right, your blah blah blah, your training, we have to bump it down to 13 instead of 16, even though I'd already been there for half of the training length. Mm-hmm. Training was like 3 months, and I'd been there for like a month and a half. They're like, we're bumping it down it was like from 16 to like 11 or whatever it was. It was a lot. And I'm like, okay, I mean, I understand that you guys are just like a small business and you have to do something like that, but like, you know, I have to drive an hour to get here now because construction on 169, they made it like a fucking hour-long drive instead of a 15-minute drive when I started there. Yeah. And so I was like, all right, you know, kind of made up my mind that I was like already going to quit. And that night, your mom was like, you've never been on a plane before? And I'm like, well, I've been on a fucking 4-person plane when I was like 6. My dad paid for me to get on so we could do like aviation day or whatever. Like, it's the coolest thing I remember from my childhood. Probably why I want to be a pilot. But, yeah, she was like, oh, we're fucking flying out to California. You're coming with us. Blah, blah, blah. Austin's birthday. And like, I mean, I didn't care that I got that ticket when we were down there. I was fucking. I'm just glad I didn't get arrested for doing 101 on the fucking highway. And I
at least you have something to remember.
I was drinking that night because you're like, here, drink some of this Coke, and I'm like, okay, sure, I'm thirsty, you know. I open it and drink it. I'm like, oh, it's flat. Oh, what is it? And you're like, you put alcohol in it. What was it? It was like, was it Captain or? I don't know. Either way, it was something, and like then I had like 3 shots with, it, and you guys were like, "You're driving first. We just got off the plane. We're really drunk," and I'm like,
"What?"
I'd already been there for 12 hours waiting for you guys. Weirdest experience, but I feel like it was all supposed to fucking meant to happen. I was supposed to fucking, you know, get that ticket. We weren't supposed to make it to the Hollywood sign and stand against it and smoke a joint when the sun was coming up because something else would have happened. You know, like. There been some tweaker or something, you know, like, it all happens for a fucking reason, you know, well, we were supposed to not go into Disneyland and shit like that, you know, like,
I fucking, life-altering high, fuck, man, that was fucking stupid, fuck, man, that was, like, that fucking high on edibles, I will never be that high again, just, like,
I'm fucking saying, bro, I'm fucking saying, because I had that same experience that night. Like, I think it was like later that night.
It was California shit. Like,
real,
my first like edible high, and I fucking overdid it.
Like, we were there. Was that first day, or we were there for a couple days? Right at the
couple days.
Yeah. And like, fucking, I think it was like day 3 or something, day 2 or 3. But we were there, and like, I just remember taking like several edibles, and we both were like, "Dude, this isn't doing shit to us." And then the next day we took like a whole bunch of shit, and then like we smoked a whole shit ton, and then we went through like actual weed, and then we like went through like half of a whole fucking cartridge thing with you, me, and your mom, and then we went to try to go to Disneyland, made it in, and we're like, let's get some food. You ate an entire fucking large pizza.
Yeah, fucking 18-inch pizza, fucking a large pan and a half. And I was just like,
to yourself, bro.
To myself.
Me and your mom split like half of the
other. Yeah, I'm just like, bro, like the hunger does not end. I'm just fucking fried. I'm fried.
Oh. And I remember that shit because, like, did we have a beer? No, we weren't old enough to drink. But we were there for, like, that short amount of time, and then you're like, I don't think we should go inside. We went over to, like, the Lego World thing, and we took a picture by it, and then your mom was like, I needed to at least get your picture with the mouse on. And the sign next to it, where you guys took the picture, it said, your picture cost $20 with the ears on, blah, 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 blah. You have to pay, blah, blah. Fuck. But she didn't pay.
Yeah. Here, take it.
Like, but yeah, fucking, and then as we were heading back out to the parking lot, you're like, oh, guys, I don't feel good. And then, like, I remember this is like the most distinctful part because you were like, at one point you made it to the car, and you were like in between the car and the car next to it, and you were like, we were like one of the outside cars. I think we were on the end, and you know there was like the driving aisle next to it. You know we had to walk up that way to get to the car, so you went in between the cars, so we couldn't see you at first. Me and your mom were still walking up. You walked ahead of us. She unlocked it with like the key fob, and you like opened the door, and you took your shirt off. So you were shirtless at this point, and you were sitting there with your head like on the concrete and like
because I didn't walk.
You were like. Your whole world was fucking changing at that
moment.
And fucking, I just remember you were like, why are we at an angle right now? And
Vision went fucking.
I'm like, bud, you're the one that's at the angle. Like a whole fucking, a cute little fucking triangle, obtuse looking ass.
Just fucking, completely fucking don't.
Dude, what was your perspective from that? Like, walk me through fucking...
Vision went from this to this, and I'm like,
pizza.
Like, no, like, I fucking scream puked. Like, you could hear me from Minnesota. Like,
yeah.
That was life changing. Like, oh, fuck. Like, that whole fucking, like, I was talking to Alexia, I was like, hold on. I'm texting you this. I'm like, hold on, I gotta throw up. I'm like, I just sent that. I'm like, fuck. Like, I'm literally, like, talking to her as if I'm, like, talking to her in person. Like, she can hear my voice through the text. And,
okay, were you already texting her just before that?
Yeah, like, I'm, like, it's, like, I'm reading it in my voice in my head, and I'm like, oh, she can't hear me. Like, I'm that high.
Oh, you were, like, texting, you said, oh, man, yeah, we're at Disney World, blah, 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 I just had a bunch of food, I don't feel good. Hold on, I gotta throw up.
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah. Just like, fuck, like, oh, okay, like, oh. She's like, what? I'm like, wait a second. Yeah, it was obnoxious. Okay,
do you even remember, like, the other parts of it from going, like, the years and shit like that? What happened when you got to the car and you took your shirt off and shit?
Like, before, I was, like, laying down, I was laying down like this on the concrete, and then you had, like, imagine, like, this is a Jeep. I'm laying down right here in between the car, and, like, your head popped up and was like, hey, man, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I'm like, I'm just chilling, man. I'm like, he's like, get up off the ground. I'm like, yeah, you're right.
Was that
like,
we're
trying to go. No, like, you're just like, get up, man. Like, we're trying to go. Like, I'm like, yeah, we should probably go. I look like a damn fool. Like, I'm fucking, alright, like, thank you.
At Disneyland.
Yeah, at Disneyland.
Laying in between two cars in the fucking parking ramp.
Oh, bro.
Sitting there high out of your fucking brain.
I'm just like, I was like,
fuck. Yeah, I remember that, because then, like, at one point I got back into the passenger seat, I'm pretty sure, and your mom was driving. I think that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And, I just remember because you got in, and I turned around, and, like, you had no pants on at that point. I'm like, what are you doing? And I'm like, you probably threw up on yourself or something. And, but yeah, then, like, you lay down and just fell asleep in your seat, and that's when we left. Like, that's all I remember.
Yeah, and then we had to pull over again, and I was rope again. On the guardrail, I'm like, fuck. Like, the car was like fucking, I had motion sickness. I was like,
I am not
well.
I'm not ready to be moved.
I'm not ready to move. Like, everything outside of this vehicle is moving except for me.
Your brain cells stayed the fuck behind.
Mm-hmm. Back in that pizza vomit.
But I remember having, like, the same kind of experience when, I don't remember exactly what happened, but we came back. I think Luke was with. I don't know if it was maybe the night. I think it was the night before we got to Airbnb.
Yeah.
Because we came back from somewhere in the rental car. It was you, me, your mom, and Luke. I don't know if we went to the beach or what the fuck it was. I don't remember what it was. But we came back and like we had all taken edibles and fucking Luke and I had smoked dabs like before we all left. Because I think you and your mom came back from whale watching or something. I don't remember. Anyways, so yeah, like we were high as shit, and I just remember coming back and I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm gonna throw up, and then I like walk over to like the recycling can because I'm like trying to be respectful and not throw up like on their yard or something and look like that person.
So you fucking.
So like I was like, oh, this is the garbage. I'm just gonna fucking like, and then, like I didn't throw up, but I like dry heaved a couple times because I hadn't eaten yet, and like, fucking of course I'm pretty sure Luke's dad came out at that time. This was like closer to sunset. He was like about to fucking like close the garage or pull the car in the garage or whatever for the night or whatever it was. And like he heard me, he's like, "You okay?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm fine. I just got sick out of nowhere and sorry." You know, and like I go inside and I'm like sitting there like fucking gaping mouth open, fucking wide eyed, fucking yeah, literally like conjuring some sort of Tibetan god. like like oh man. And like I remember just sitting in the chair just blasted out of my mind. And fucking like Luke's family is all walking around like so much going on. I'm like
just like meanwhile fucking like what's his sister's name? Grace. Yeah, I'm just like fuck. Like
running around doing fucking cartwheels and shit.
Like,
do you want to play the Wii with me? I'm like,
no.
I'm like, bro, I feel really bad for saying no. Like, I would totally do that sometime.
I am vibing. I will watch you play the Wii.
Yeah, like, but yeah, then like I go to take a shower or something, come out like 40 minutes later, and Luke was like, "What the fuck were you doing in there, jacking off or something?" I'm like, "Dude, I was just showering." He's like, "Are you high as shit? Wasting all the water and shit? My parents are gonna be mad." I'm like, "I'm sorry. Just tell them I was beating my feet." No, it was good times though. It'd be cool to go back in time and do it again.
So you remember Alexis?
Yeah. She's married?
Yeah, she's getting married.
Yeah,
you're friends with her on Facebook, right?
Oh, I don't think so. I created a new Facebook. I don't really use it, so I don't know. I could be. Probably. Maybe. I don't know. Try not to friend people that are getting married. I'm like, I don't want to see all this.
Like, that's my womb mate. Like, her mom and my mom. Like...
I remember this.
Yeah.
They were best friends growing up. And,
yeah.
You know, you guys are subsequently best friends because you play all the time together and then kind of drift apart a little bit, but still staying connected.
Yeah. But yeah, she's getting married.
Yeah, are you going to it? Are you going to the wedding? Is it in Washington?
Mm-hmm. Like,
no, it's in Italy.
I want to see her before that, so if you want to come with...
Like, Washington?
Yeah.
I'd definitely do that one, though.
Like, it would be like a weekend thing, like you know.
Flight?
Yeah. So, like, we would have a spot for the weekend. I just have to talk to her. 2
people room?
One bed? Or like a living room, living room and a fucking sleeping bag. Like,
I'll sleep with you in the bed.
Alright. We'll cuddle and watch Netflix. That's fine.
I'm not watching anything.
I'm not watching anything. Yeah. No, but like, you know, we have places to stay. Like,
yeah.
I know people out there.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That's one that's on my bucket list for sure is going to Washington.
Because like they know where all the fucking cool shit is. Like
I want to go.
They'll
to
fucking
the
take us.
Forest, bro. I'm trying to go to like a rainforest. Yeah. You're taking pictures of my feet again.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going upstairs?
Yeah, I want to try and move some more stuff.
Oh, right. Let's go move some of that stuff. Quotation.
Bro. Quotation.
End quotation. I gotta catch this Snorlax real quick.